Hey YouTubers and gamers, I am Cybersnake7 and this is the second part of my Japanese PS2 fighting games collection. This time around I'll have another 12 games for you to show, one Saiga release and 11 from the SNK Playmore collection. As before, I'll be showing you the front, the rear cover, inside at the disc and the manual, and also giving you the best of a description of the game that I possibly can. So we'll start with the Saiga release, which is a game that I actually picked up totally by chance. Knew nothing about the game and I just thought go for it, and it isn't a bad fighting game at all, and it is Rumblefish. Very good artwork on the front, back isn't so great, and there you go, there's the disc and the instruction manual. The game itself is not a bad game, graphically quite good, cel-shaded kind of, and it's a very mid-paced game. A lot of close combat combos and close range fighting rather than distance fighting I found in this game. But as I say, never heard of the game. Some quite good characters in the game itself, and it's quite a rare item to find apparently nowadays. But there you go, that's the first game, which is Rumblefish. Now on to the SNK Playmore collection. This game, a fantastic brawler, just a fight fest. It's a collaboration of many fighting games across the Neo Geo system. Loads of different fighters from, obviously, different fighting games from the Neo Geo collection. And it is this beauty. It is Neo Geo Battle Coliseum. Absolutely fantastic game this is. As I say, a broad spectrum of characters from all fighters across the board on the Neo Geo system. Fast paced, furious, and very, very difficult, and very unforgiving if you're not a at least an average fighting games player. But can't say no wrong about this game. I really, really do like this game. A fantastic game. But there you go, that is Neo Geo Battle Coliseum. Then we move on to a few King of the Fighters games. Not going to be too much of a description about a majority of them, because one King of the Fighters game is more or less exactly the same as the next King of the Fighters game, but I still love them. But these two I'm going to show you now, this is where they ventured into the 3D realm, and personally, did it work? I'm not really sure. I don't think King of the Fighters games are meant to be 3D. They did try, and I think personally that slightly failed, if you want my opinion. But still, two games worthy of having in your King of the Fighters collections. But anyway, the games I'm talking about are King of the Fighters Maximum Impact. Now this is the Japanese special edition, and it's got a nice slipcase. And we also have the game, which this is obviously the PAL cover for the special edition over in the UK. But we have better artwork on the Japanese one. There's the instruction manual and your two discs, game, and the DVD, which I think is a master's DVD concerning fighting moves and showing you the best tips how to play the game. And also we have a manual, which the manual is showing you each character, giving you a bio, and also the moves lists for each character. In all, it's quite a nice package, but the game itself is it's okay. But as I previously said earlier, I prefer my King of the Fighters to be basically 2D. But nevertheless, still a worthy one. Whether they make any more, I don't know. I don't think they should. They should stick to the side 2D versions. But anyway, that is King of the Fighters Maximum Impact 1. But as I said, there's one of two, so I actually had to buy number 2. Now this one is a very, very nice box set, and as you can see, a lovely slipcase, great artwork on front and rear. This one, I'm going to admit to you, I felt slightly improved over the first one. More characters, graphically a little bit better, and obviously added the fact that the game itself was a special edition and it had more with it. It does give it that edge over the first. But this time round you had, I'll show you the game first, which is a nice, fantastic artwork on the cover, and not so good on the back as per usual. But if you notice the front cover, you'll see the poster behind me is on the wall, which was part of the collector's edition that I bought. But as I say, the artwork for the disc and the instruction manual are very, very nice indeed. Great artwork for this collector's edition. But you also got a mini anime film, or anime film should I say, for the King of the Fighters. It's called The King of the Fighters Another Day. Not a full-length film, unfortunately. Very short for what it is. It would have been nice to have a probably an hour and a half film. But for what it is, it's not a bad film. Great animation. Not much story to it, to be honest with you. But personally, I would have liked to have seen more of this King of the Fighters style anime movies. But that was King of the Fighters Maximum Impact 2, which was an improvement over the first, and a very nice box set. Then they brought out another one, not a third in the series, just a spin-off, which was specifically, as far as I'm concerned, for online play. Could play it single player, but it was more for online play, which was King of the Fighters Maximum Impact Regulation A. Every fighter basically from the first two games. I haven't really played this much to be giving you any really true information on the game, but to be honest, as I say, what I know is that this game is just specifically for online play, but it is playable in single player mode. But apart from that, I really couldn't tell you any more. But still, a nice artwork on the front and typical Japanese style on the back. But there you go, that is King of the Fighters Maximum Impact Regulation A. Now moving on to a game that started it all for me, easily one of my favourites, King of the Fighters, and it is this one, King of the Fighters 94 Reboot. Obviously this one is the special edition with a nice slipcase, and you also get, as you do with most standard Japanese games, the same artwork on the front and the typical Japanese style on the back. And there's the disc and the artwork for the instruction manual, which is the original front cover for your Neo Geo cartridge case. And also you had yet again another manual with obviously all the fighters and all the moves for each character. But this time around, if you can see closely on the manual, you also got with this edition a Neo Geo Pad 2, which was a clone of the Neo Geo Pad for the Neo Geo CD, which I have still got and is probably one of my best PS2 pads I've ever owned. Very, very nice pad to play fighting games with. Absolutely brilliant pad. But the game itself, true to its word, just a revamped version of the original King of the Fighters 94. You also have the ability to play the original version, Neo Geo version of King of the Fighters 94. You can't go wrong. Fantastic fighter. But that is King of the Fighters 94 Reboot. And then we move on to King of the Fighters 2000. The full title, yeah, King of the Fighters 2000. There you go. I'm going to be honest with you, I'm not really... I've played it, but I've not really overly played it, so I couldn't really go into too much detail about the game. But the artwork and the cover, sorry, the cover art for the instruction manual are very, very nice. As far as I can see on the back, as you can see, you get two new characters, Zero and you get Cooler. But apart from that, it's your typical King of the Fighters game. Great backdrops. I don't know if those are the only two main characters in this game. Obviously, the professionals out there who know the King of the Fighters inside out will probably fill me in with what I don't know. But that is King of the Fighters 2000. And then we obviously get King of the Fighters 2001. Yet again, more of the same, but still a fantastic fighting series. This time round, it looks like you can have 4-on-4 battles. How true that follows into the series, or whether that was previously as well, I'm not too sure, because I ain't fluent in Japanese, so I'm not about to know. And I've really never gone into looking into the history of King of the Fighters, and it's a shame. I should do, really, because it's a great fighting series and should know more about it. But anyway, as you can see, fantastic artwork for the disc and also the manual. But another great King of the Fighters game to the series. So that is King of the Fighters 2001. So you know what's coming next. It's King of the Fighters 2002. I found this one probably one of the hardest to get out of. It took me a while to find this one. But yet again, it's more of the same. I'm not going to be beat around the bush with it. It is King of the Fighters. And that's about all I can say. You probably got more fighters than the last version. Different backdrops again. The artwork and the style of the gameplay isn't going to change very much. But there you go. That is King of the Fighters 2002. And then to finish off the King of the Fighters, well, up until 2003, is King of the Fighters 2003. I've played this one on a PAL version. This one is sealed. I've never opened it, so but yet again, exactly more of the same. King of the Fighters goodness. Fantastic fighter as per usual. A couple of new characters, and as they progress, these games get tough, very, very tough. But there you go. So no inside a manual and disc for this one, guys, because it's sealed. But that's King of the Fighters 2003. Then we move on to King of the Fighters Neo Wave. Now this is more again, but I think this time round, it's a selection of fighters from across the board from different King of the Fighters games. And I found with this one, this is extremely tough, but a very, very good game. And there's more like combo systems, and I could give into it. It's that much you can talk about King of the Fighters, but it's knowing it all, and just off the top of my head, I ain't the best of knowledge for fighting games anyway. But nevertheless, I've got to just say, all I know, it's a great fighting game, and is very, very tough and worthy of a play, and worthy of being anybody's collection. That's King of the Fighters Neo Wave. And on to the last one, which is, I'm assuming, quote me if I'm wrong, King of the Fighters 11. I have played this one, and this one is a very, very good game. As I say, it's more of the same. Graphically superb, fast paced. As per usual, this game is difficult. If you're not a veteran of the fighting King of the Fighters games, or any games in general, you will suffer big time, because these games can be difficult, especially in the later levels getting towards the boss. But beautiful artwork, fantastic game, and very happy to own it. But that is my last game for the SNK Play More collection. There is one more I've got to get. At the moment I can't remember the name of it, but it's another King of the Fighters game which I absolutely must buy. And that I think is up to date then with my Play More collection concerning King of the Fighters. But that's it, guys. Thanks for watching my second part of my PS2 Japanese fighting games collection. As before, you will be getting a compilation video, and you'll be seeing a number of games of what I've just showed you in this latest edition. So, as always, thanks for watching. I am Cybersnake7. Keep playing, keep watching.